it's about time we paid some homage to the Las-58 Talon, a sidearm that's better than most folks' favorite primaries, because it's simply better than the majority of primaries. You have 200 damage, medium penetration, one-handed, heat-based energy revolver. The heat aspect means that you can simply fire it infinitely, if you don't fire too fast. I believe you can shoot 7 shots in very quick succession accurately given the 2 recoil. With infinite range comes wacky possibilities. You can destroy the overship shield, which is roughly 2,000 meters away, using the Talon alone. But using that cannon behind me makes it a far faster deal. It's roughly 8 rounds. And then you can one-tap it if you enter one of them little circular doohickeys. When Talon first launched in the Borderline Justice Warbond, I didn't enjoy it. I felt as though the sway was simply too high for the weapon and in comparison to other sidearms. Lo and behold, sway has only gotten worse for every sidearm now, including the Talon, and all of a sudden, I like to use it. That's not why. Let's be very clear. I've just realized it's insanely impactful for every faction, and it can boost pretty much any light pin weapon to being a lot more useful, depending on what you're facing, because there are some caveats and niche little situations that can happen. I'll be showing y'all what Big Iron doesn't want you to know, especially Big Cast Iron. Get yourself a 5-clad stainless steel pan today from heritagesteel.com using code ODO. I've used mine for the past year. I like it a lot. I cook on it on stream, and I've made eggs that don't stick to the pan consistently with minimal oil and butter, if you care about that kind of thing to minimize calories. What Talon does best is dish out respectable damage at a decent tempo. You can fire it fast, 7 shots, quick succession. It's not necessarily always needed, but 3-tapping the Scout strategy right there, that is something you'll likely be doing often if you take it for Automatons, because you can break your legs using light penetration. If you haven't tried it yet, give it a gander, give it a whirl, because even weapons that are medium pin will be taking forever to break those, as opposed to going for the Jondals, as I had just shown. And Talon will make it so weapons that require light pin for Automatons can still be used and feel good, and you just have the option to handle the Scout Stratters that would otherwise be almost an immovable object, so to speak. If you need a rapid fire, that's always an option. Berserkers would be probably the best example. I'm showing that you can block melee with the shield. I don't know why I felt the need to do that. Kind of cool though. Ballistic shield has changed a lot for folks that don't know, I suppose, and I tend to forget just how fun it can be. Talon's high damage allows it to one-shot every single automaton chaff unit except for Scout Stratters, but on level 8 and higher, they don't spawn those. Instead, you start seeing Rocket Stratters. Hit the rockets, and usually they die. Sometimes they live. I don't think that's intended. It can take down gunships. It's just not particularly good at taking down gunships. Once you consider how many spawn on higher difficulties, it's a bit of a daunting image. But it does contribute. A teammate has guns that can't one-shot the engine, you both target the exact same engine, it's going to die quicker. It's a foreign concept we call teamwork. I'm a little perturbed I'd never tried using Ballistic Shield and Talon. The combination's phenomenal. If you're facing automatons, level 7 and below for regular ones makes sense, because you don't have Rocket Stratters that can one-shot the Ballistic Shield, and it's just more ragdolls. For Incineration automatons, this could be freaking sick. Because then you have less ragdolls, and the only main worry of a one-shot would be from the Hulks, lobbing grenades. But for the Shotgun Shieldens, I don't believe they can one-shot you now. On the bug front, it's superb in a 4-man group. The whole world won't be crumbling down upon you. And the main reason is Alpha Commanders are broken. They're not spamming Alpha Warriors in a 4-man for some reason. Solo, good luck. Not because Talon can't do good damage, it's just you'll be overwhelmed. You'll one-shot Warriors, Alpha Warriors, Hunters to the body and the face. They'll sometimes live a shot, it just depends. If you hit a leg, they ain't gonna die to that, at least not one. Wilburs, poof. Super Earth's greatest threat, as we all know, one-tapped. Pouncers as well. Hive Guards, you 2-shot them in the main giant dome, the massive 8-head, they will bleed out momentarily. I should mention, when you one-tap Warriors to the face, they are still alive and can kill you. Alpha Commanders and Commanders get 3-shot from pretty much any distance. Shriekers, 1-tap to basically anywhere. You'll occasionally get a hit marker, and I'm talking maybe 1 out of every 50 Shriekers you kill. And the piercing shot is something I should have maybe mentioned. You'll notice it more for bugs than you would bots. Your shots go through other enemies. I think they maintain light penetration and not so much medium though. It's kind of like railgun. When you shoot through enemies, it goes straight to light pin. Effectiveness on stalkers may vary. Landing the headshot is an extremely fast kill. Consider the sway and the fact you don't stagger these monsters. So you have to be landing a headshot on a moving enemy going Mach 10 while you are bobbing and weaving with your arm. It's not much, but you can 3-shot ball spears to the face on higher difficulties when they start having medium pin. On lower difficulties, they have light pin foreheads. It's weird, but just keep that in mind. If you ever get a spore, I wouldn't say seed, the spore faction, sub-faction, you'll go from one-shotting warriors to 2-shotting them. Hunters will seem a lot more tanky as well, and this is where I believe the weapon loses a lot of viability. A lot of enjoyment just fades away because this is a faction of enemies that's just simply tankier for the sake of it. So keep that in mind. Now, if you ever get spammed with Hive Guards, which can happen, or Alpha Commanders, Talon is going to be useless, just as the majority of weapons will be, so it's nothing unique to it. For the Illuminate, I love taking it to handle the Snitcheroo 9000 ET Phone a Friend Watcher Bot. Purple light that calls in the dropships, because you have next to no recoil, you can rapidly fire off a few shots. Occasionally, I feel you can one-shot it, but usually it's going to be 2 to 3. And chances are, it'll be loaded, unlike other sidearms, in my case at least. Breaks Harvester shields in roughly 9 shots, and then you can destroy the horn that regenerates the shield so it can't do it anymore. That's important if you don't have time to go for the kill shot. If you're rocking the variable, pretty nice combination. Break shield, one tap. Voteless, they get jondled from distance, aka you take off their legs. It's either going to be from a waist shot or a leg shot. Waist is easier to hit since it can go betwixt the legs and whatnot. And because it has light pin piercing damage, you can hit multiple Voteless with a single shot. Hard to do, but it's possible, and it can save you some time. You can one-shot the ablative armor off of Overseers, and then follow it up with whatever does bigger damage. And if you want to use the Talon still, 4 shots. So 1 to ship the armor, and then 3 more to the exposed chest. It's not particularly good at taking down Stingrays. I'd say it's a lot faster than the gunships, and it's easier to hit as well. The ammunition required is a little hefty, though. So it's one of those things where you contribute. The picture for Talon has been painted, but the beauty of art lies in the eye of the beholder. Some folks may say it's a neat gun, but it's not that big iron on my hip. It isn't the Senator, which has heavy armor pin. And I'll say to that, use what you like, first and foremost. But second of all, the game's changing there, Cowpoke. These days, you're getting spammed by Hulks at a rate that the Senator can't keep up with, which I love. I love the amount of Hulks we're getting because Railgun makes quick work of them. It is so fun. Back to main focus, though. Senator takes out gunships in 6 shots. There's 4 gunships in patrol now. So the effort in landing all those 6 shots on one engine which is not easy to do given the increased sway. The sway, honestly, is the main reason that I don't use Senator anymore. I used to do solo runs with the weapon. Literally by itself. I'd take Senator, supply backpack, no support weapon, and I'd have a blast. I've done Senator only in a 4-man before as well. But I haven't even thought about doing that because I don't enjoy the sway. And it affects the Senator heavily because it's a weapon that deals high damage, but you have to land precise shots. The main thing I would probably use Senator for currently is taking out the chin turrets on a Factory Strider. Aside from that, the Talon does everything I needed to do, just better. That's where I'm at. And don't get me started on War Striders. The Senator it can do something to it, which is more than you can say for most secondaries, except for Chris, but I think it's godlike. But man, the game has changed in a way where Senator, it's not a bad gun. It's just that Talon, for what I use it for, and for what I think that most folks would use a sidearm for, is simply better. In the beginning, I said Talon's better than most primaries. To visualize that, if you could have a primary weapon and Talon, or just 2 Talons instead, there are a lot of times in which I'd rather just have 2 Talons. Examples would be all the ARs. I'd rather just have 2 Talons, especially if they ever make this way back to what it was, or even better than what it was. Now for marksman rifles, Talon technically does the same thing, but not having a scope does make it tough to hit those shots that are way more fun when using the marksman stuff. So the only one here would probably be Constitution. Submachine gun, Reprimand over Talon. Or maybe there's, I wouldn't say over necessarily, but Reprimand is kind of fun to use. For shotguns, it's going to be Cookout, Instant Breaker, the rest of them. I'd rather take Talon. Explosive crossbow to Raptor, the utility alone is insane, so having those would be huge. I'd probably take Sickle, Double-Edged Sickle, and Purifier, and maybe Scythe. I would take Talon over Scorcher, by the way. Scorcher, I believe, is currently having a propaganda campaign being pushed to sway players. And for special, I'm taking Variable Torture and possibly Jar. Jar is it's interesting in the current state. But that's what I meant when I said Talon is better than most primaries. Use whatever you like and enjoy. I'm not making these videos to tell you what to play. I'm just trying to show you how good things are. It's very cold in this house. If you liked the video, thank you. I hope I can make more you enjoy. Thank you for watching as always. Have a good day.